Japan, please keep cleaning up the dressing rooms.
Yes.
Because it's driving the Angmos mad, and I love it. If Roy Keane talks about it one more time, his head is going to explode. Welcome back to another new episode of Yahoo Footballing Weekly with me, Neil Humphreys.
And me, Chia Keong, and have y'all been zombified like me already? 2 weeks of football every day, 4 matches. Oh my God.
But we'll get into our categories in a moment. But I will say it's been probably better than I thought. I thought it was slow starting the first week, expected a bit of negativity, which we'll discuss and I've written about. But the last few days, you know, the final matches, the final matches of the group stage is terrific.
Terrific. Just on edge during some of the matches.
Yeah. And we want to thank you for all of your comments that you've been sending to us on all of our platforms, TikTok, Yahoo, YouTube, Instagram. We're everywhere.
So, I mean, the moment we made a wrong prediction, y'all just will come in straight away and then you all will say, okay, you are lousy, you are this and you are that. Well, these are predictions, come on.
You see, no, you're only upset. He's only upset because he got more views than I did this time, right? On the TikTok and the Instagram, and we're normally about the same. But a couple of your clips got way more views than any other.
And you know why?
Because his predictions were spectacularly wrong. That's why. And so he got Tekan on the comment section. I loved it. Right, let's get a couple of these comments. I saved them specially. Wen Long, 82, thank you for your comments on our previous podcast, said, the biggest loser will be Dinosaur England. That's not looking too good, is it?
That's not looking too good, though.
Ilham Sahin said, no shout out for Asian teams on our previous podcast.
Sorry, mea culpa.
Mea culpa. Oh, he's mea culpa. No matter. Okay, there's a reason for that. We were only picking our best and our worst in our previous podcast, and Asian teams didn't fit into that categories, but they will today. I've got Asian teams in my categories. Do you?
Yep.
All right, let's get into the categories then. Right, so we're just going to rattle through them. Same drill as before. Agree, disagree, post the comments underneath, you know where, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and so on and so on.
Sure.
Right, let's kick it off. So, how have our predictions turned out so far?
So which one are you most smug about? Which one do you think, I got you, man?
They know. The prediction I'm most smug about is, of course, Belgium. I said Belgium would flop. I got a lot of flack for that.
Spot on.
I said that Roberto Martinez shouldn't get a job in the Singapore Premier League. He has since resigned. I said that Lukaku couldn't hit a barn door with his backside, and I was right. I was 3 for 3 on that. But Lukaku, I said he'd be bad. I didn't think he'd be that bad. There's bad, and there's bad, and then there's Lukaku bad.
I mean, there's so many in a row.
4. I've got here 4 chances, 4 clear-cut chances. But in the second half alone, he had a hat-trick. He had a hat-trick of chances that he missed. One of them was 6 yards from goal. The ball is in front of him. The goal is gaping, right? And somehow he does this thing with the ball on his chest.
Chest the ball. And then
like he's a snake wiggling on his chest, and he's tried to shake it off. And then the best part, poor Lukaku, he goes off at full time. You know, they've had the goalless draw against Croatia. They're out. And did you see what he did? Boom! He punches the dugout. And as everybody said, it's the only time he hit the target. It's the only time he hit the target in the whole game.
We can be very savage. We can be very
savage. But coming back to Belgium, all smugness aside, a team that's got, Eden Hazard is a shadow of his former self, so forget him. The best player in the EPL, arguably, De Bruyne, nowhere. Batshuayi, decent forward, nowhere. Lukaku, nowhere. Okay, the defence is an ageing defence, but still decent. Yep. They were terrible, Keong.
They underperformed, they underachieved, they underdid everything. So, spot on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Smug. Perfect prediction. Go on, what's yours?
Okay. At first, I thought I made another dreadful prediction when Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia 2-1.
Yes. I was already messaging him.
Man.
I said, your prediction for the World Cup is doing ever so well.
But subsequently, the 2 games, I think they are reaching that level, that dominance which I can see, and then I think I might still be correct in saying that they might win it all. They might still go on to win the World Cup because in their half now only left maybe Brazil who can actually match them. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that my prediction that Argentina will do well still stands.
And Messi has been quite good actually. The last couple of games, he made a difference.
Yeah.
And Australia next, right, in the knockout stages. Yes. So
and one more prediction that I'm smart about because I'm saying Qatar fans will disappoint us all. And sure enough, first game they left in the middle of the opening match.
They did. I did write a column about that as well. So so you know, I did cover that one as well. No, you're right. No real surprises about Qatar. We'll get to that later. But smugness, okay, I'll take the Belgium. You'll take Argentina. I think you're right about Argentina. They could do well.
Any one of your predictions you think that might come true? Tell us on our YouTube channel, Yahoo Southeast Asia, or in our TikTok channels, Yahoo SEA, on our Twitter, Yahoo SG and Yahoo _MY. Okay?
Still got it memorized.
Yeah, still got it memorized. 2 weeks already, still memorized.
Still memorized. All right, now, next one. Moving on quickly. The prediction we wish we hadn't made. He's got hundreds. I'll go first. The prediction I wish I hadn't made or slightly embarrassed by, Jack Grealish. Jack, if you're watching this, I seriously doubt it, but if you are watching this, I was wrong. And I'm sorry. I said in the previous podcast, you would be the biggest irritant. In my defense, I was talking more holistically about the bandwagon always associated with England and the great big hope. And it's actually become Foden. You know, Foden became the Grealish. You know, will he play? Will he not play? And he did play and he was fantastic. But Grealish was actually giving us one of the best moments of the World Cup. The loveliest moment when he did the whole...
Oh, yeah.
What do they call that? The worm dance, the snake dance?
Yeah, for one of us.
The wavy arm celebration. Yeah. It was for a fan called Finley, I think, who has cerebral palsy. Yeah. And I didn't realise that Jack Grealish's sister has cerebral palsy. And not only did he do the goal celebration and keep his promise, he then spoke to him the next day on the phone. And I just thought that was lovely. Yeah, lovely. The World Cup is supposed to be about personal experiences, you know, connections, that umbilical cord between the footballer and the fan. That was one of the loveliest moments of the World Cup. Yep. Jack, if you do see this, mate, keep doing it. Keep doing it all the way through. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I bowed down to Jack Grealish. What about you?
Oh, man. So I've from the start, I was saying like, this person should have won the Champions League. If he hasn't won now, he will flop this one. Kylian Mbappe, I thought would be the biggest flop of this World Cup. And guess what he did? He just went on to score 3 goals, joint leader on the top scorer chart, and then one of the games he scored twice and then lifted the team out.
And brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant goal some more. So, yes, egg on my face. I mean, the France and Mbappe, well, I thought they will struggle because they had a lot of injuries. Benzema was out. So many. Pogba and Kante was out. But hey, they did well.
Is that the one you got all the comments for?
Yes, that's all the comments.
That's the only reason.
A lot of French fans.
Yeah, he went viral on TikTok because he was wrong. That's the only way. So your prediction...
Whatever it takes to go viral.
Yeah, whatever it takes, man. So your prediction for a flop is single-handedly carrying the world champions at the moment.
Single-handedly. So,
brilliant. All right, well, let us know who was your biggest shock, surprise, disappointment, worst prediction. Yeah. Don't be shy. Let us know at all the usual places. Right, let's move into the World Cup itself. What has the World Cup been like for us so far? What has been the most pleasant surprise of the World Cup? Pleasant surprise. Go on, you go.
So, yeah, I mean, when the World Cup, before the World Cup started, we all like saying, so many injuries to the top stars, you know, this is going to be a really low quality World Cup, something like, you know, none of the games are appealing, you know. But surprisingly, the games have been played very competitively.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, even the weaker teams are punching well above their weight.
Way above. I mean, Costa Rica, Senegal.
It's such a pleasant surprise.
Canada did well, I thought, in some games. And really good.
Yeah, and the best thing is everybody's playing positive football, not negative football. Everybody is like, okay, we're going out to win the matches. Even though some of them might fail badly, Costa Rica 7-0 to Spain. But you know, if you don't go out to win, you don't get your shocks. And then there have been lots of upsets in this game. And that's a very pleasant surprise for me.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. And it ties in with my one, which is, it's almost, I wouldn't say the death of tiki-taka, but it's the death of wasted possession, possession for its own sake. I was a fan of Spain, the early Spain of sort of 2010, but by the time that Spain side got to 2014, it was actually really dull to watch.
Yes.
This is the complete opposite of that, which is why my favorite surprise, without a doubt, Japan. I love Japan and the way they took down tiki-taka. TikTok tiki-taka, destroyed it, and brilliant. They had, against Spain, 17.7% possession. It is the lowest possession since World Cup records began where a team went on to win.
Wow. That's
extraordinary. Awesome. And they also had low possession against Germany as well.
Yep.
So Japan, no one gave them a prayer coming into this tournament. They have defeated 2 world champions.
First Asian team to do so.
Right? Germany and Spain. They're deservedly into the knockout stages. Their play is fantastic. They're like, you have the ball. You go play. They're like a patronising father, to the kiddies. You go play, and then when there's a few minutes left, I'll take the ball from you, and I will score. Yeah. And they did it. They're almost sitting back with cigars, against Spain. Help yourself, boys. Help yourself. Are you finished? Are you ready?
Really?
Are you ready?
Okay.
Bop. 2-1. Over. Thank you very much.
Smash and grab, man.
Loved it. I love what they're doing. Another stat, against Spain, Spain had 991 passes. Japan had 175. Who cares? That's the point. Only geeks care about this stuff. Statistical geeks. Possession is pointless if you're not doing anything with it. I love what Japan are doing. I love their attitude. Great aggressive press. Their 2 substitutes who came on, Mitoma from Brighton and Doan. Now this lad Doan from Freiburg, he's great. I mean, he's quick, he's fast, he's energetic. And here's the funniest part of it, right? All of the goals, certainly most of the goals, have come from Japanese players in the Bundesliga. So Germany, you're still there. They're just wearing Japanese jerseys. So Japan, I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. My surprise of the World Cup.
Fantastic.
What do you think?
What do you think?
What is your surprise of the World Cup so far? Let us know at
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
All right, great. Now this one, I'll let you go first.
Right.
That was the best surprise. What's been the biggest disappointment or something that's upset you, made you angry, seen red about the World Cup so far?
So many things. I mean, obviously it's off field. On the pitch, I think I don't have much complaints. But off the field, my goodness, so many issues have cropped up, and perhaps the most disappointing one is the One Love armband. They were supposed to, put up a inclusivity armband.
England, right?
England and some European countries
Germany,
too.
I think, as well.
Germany, Netherlands, to show their unity towards the LGBTQ community and stuff. And just because FIFA told them not to, otherwise they will be yellow carded, they decided not to go ahead with the display of shows the display of solidarity, which is, I think, poor, very poor on these European countries, these European teams. I mean, if you want to do a protest, do it properly. There's always risk during protests.
Of course.
You risk being sanctioned. But if you don't follow it through, then what's the point, right? You made a big noise out of this before you want to start the protest, and then in the end you don't even do it.
I agree with that. That's a good point, 100%. When you give the moral high ground to someone like Roy Keane, who even Roy Keane said, just wear the armband and take the yellow card. Yeah. And let's talk about bravery for a second. You're worried about a yellow card for Harry Kane or whatever it is. The Iranians are worried about their lives, and they still stand up in front of the world's cameras and do not sing their national anthem in support of the pro-women protests.
In the same match.
Right? The pro-women protests where lives are being lost. That Iranian player was arrested, a domestic Iranian player was arrested for his protests. And then, this will come on to my point, which is, okay, if FIFA were consistent at least, I would accept it. I don't agree, but I would accept it. No political protests at the World Cup of any kind or political symbolism. But there were Qatari officials sitting with Infantino with pro-Palestine armbands as a protest against the kind of One Love protest. Now, I think, fine, wear the pro-Palestine armband. That's your prerogative. But then they should also be allowed to wear their pro-LGBT. It can't be one rule for you up there and one rule for... No, it's either all or none.
Yeah.
No consistency at all. I could not agree with you more. Which brings me to my most disappointing element of this World Cup. There are many, but it's the whataboutery. The whataboutery is just never ending at this World Cup. If I see one more post saying, but do you know the last World Cup where it was illegal to be gay? England, 1966. See, gotcha. Yes, no one disputes that. But there was corruption at the 1978 World Cup, and there was a military dictatorship and an autocracy then. And Russia had already invaded Crimea before the last World Cup. My response to that is, so what? You can learn, you can evolve. You can't reduce every counter-argument can't be reduced to the classroom. A teacher, he did it as well.
So you cannot complain
so
to me.
what? You know, just because I did it, Keong did it as well. That is not an argument. That is not a counter-argument. We can be better. You can't just say, they did it too, and they did it too. We've done a lot of terrible things through history. Every country has done bad things. And every country, if they held the World Cup, would have hypocrisies and contradictions and human rights issues. And you would hope that in every one of those countries, the media, the public, and social media would call them up as well. Qatar is not being singled out.
Nope.
They just happen to be hosting the World Cup.
Yep.
And my issue with all of this is it comes down to, you can't just throw up this, but they did it too, every time you're criticised. Or
you'll never get forward.
Or call out Islamophobia. It's got nothing to do with religion. It's got nothing to do with politics specifically. For me, it's always been the same issue, Keong, hypocrisy. You got this World Cup by saying you were a football nation.
And it's what happened.
You're not a football nation. That's my only issue with this, the hypocrisy of that. FIFA and Qatar sold Qatar as a football nation. And clearly, as you said, it isn't. They don't care. I've not seen a full stadium, I don't think, at any of the games. They leave early. The games I was watching this morning, good games though they were, at times I could hear the players talking on the pitch like it's a training session. So the whataboutery is for me the worst thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me also the thing that, some people are trying to defend Qatar, saying that, when we go to Qatar, we must respect their traditions, so we cannot criticize them. It's equal to your whataboutery. It's like, no, we can go there, we can respect the thing, but we can also point out some things that they need to maybe work on. And then, but people are trying to be apologists for them. I don't know.
And my last point on this, celebrity footballers, and I'm not even talking about David Beckham here. There's a certain Liverpool legend called John Barnes. Have you seen? Some of the guys, we all have to earn a living. I do. I have to. Keong does. Our wonderful director Jay does. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit and go, isn't it great? Isn't it fab? Qatar. Some of the coverage I have seen that people have put out there, some of the videos they've made, I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know how they look in the mirror. Honestly, I don't. Guys, I know you want to earn a living, but geez, that's all I'm going to say about them. Hypocrites, a lot of them.
Lots of disappointments.
Right, moving on. Funniest highlight so far of the World Cup. I think we're going to have the same one. I don't know. Do you want to go first?
You go first.
Funniest highlight of the World Cup is grown men obsessing over overhanging balls, right? Overhanging balls on internet, on social media. I'm talking about Japan and Germany and the overhanging ball on that byline.
Is it up?
Oh, my word. Sad people have got out masking tape and put it on the floor and then put their ball on top of masking tape and then took photographs from every different angle to show that at this angle it's on and it's this angle it's off. And a ball is a spherical object. And therefore, it's not just the bit on the ground. It's the bit around here. Get a life, for God's sake. It's a football match. I've never known so many men obsess about overhanging balls since puberty. Honestly. I just think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Honestly, absolutely mad. What do you think?
Okay, that was funny, but my moment, I have a particular moment which I find ridiculously funny. That's when the South Korean TV journalist was like doing a vox pop outside, and then the Saudi Arabian fans came in. Where is Messi?
Where's Messi?
Where is Messi? Where is Messi? And then it was just the way they say it. It's just makes me smile.
And he just keeps going, but where is Messi?
Where is Messi?
And he won't stop, right? He won't stop.
Everybody joins in. Where is Messi?
That was good. That was good. And it was trending all over the world. Like, where's Messi? Where's Messi? That was really good. I did want to say in that clip, where are the women? But I don't want to start World War III. But what was your funniest highlight? Let us know. Usual places underneath the videos. Funniest highlight. All right, now this one, I suspect I know where we're going to go with this one. Qatar as a host, yes or no? How's it going?
Nah.
No? Same?
No way. I mean, we've talked so much about the culture, but I just think, you set the bar so ridiculously opulent, like this is by far the most expensive World Cup ever. And then you build 7 stadiums. Those 7 stadiums, I can guarantee you, will be white elephants once the World Cup is over.
Of course.
There's no way they're going to sustain any kind of activities that involves all the stadiums. So, all the opulence only for a month, and then what are they going to do with it?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. For balance, some positives. I don't have an issue with the alcohol ban.
Oh yeah,
no problems.
Actually led to not much violence, which is
correct.
Good.
I've covered World Cups and Euros where I've literally seen drunken fights in front of me. I don't miss that. I don't think anybody else does. That's been a positive. It's very interesting that you notice the makeup of the supporters at this World Cup is very different. Like when I saw the England games and some of the European games, lots of babies in the crowd. And people saying, they've brought their They haven't brought their babies. They're expats who live there in massive condos earning fortunes. I've never seen so many expats. Yeah. So it's got a very upper middle class feel to it, right?
Which is weird.
Which is why it looks nice and it's safe and friendly, but the atmosphere is coming from the Africans and the South Americans. My old favourites, Argentina. Still the best fans I've ever seen in the flesh at 2014. They still look like they're having one hell of a party now. I think Ecuador, Senegal, these countries, they're really bringing the atmosphere. So
fantastic.
It's a safer, cleaner, sounds like Singapore, easier World Cup. But on the negative side, we said it already, it's just not a fan culture. No. As soon as they turned their backs on their own players in the tournament opener, the game was up. It's like, we genuinely don't care. And what made me laugh, I said it in the column, not only do they not care about their lack of football, they don't even seem to care about the optics. They don't even seem to care what this looks like to the rest of the world. We've bought the World Cup. We've done what we set out to do. We don't care anymore. Just go and play amongst yourselves.
Yeah, we'll continue to dig the oils.
Yeah, we've got gas for the next 200 years that we'll still have to sell you, and you'll still buy from us because you're all hypocrites. You'll moan at us about LGBT, and then you'll come back and go, can we have some gas, please? Because we're getting cold. So, where's the hypocrisy? Right there. So, okay, get the World Cup over with, but no more. No more World Cups like that, please.
Please.
All right, let's get back to the football. Let's talk about positive stuff. Yeah. Performances on the pitch. Who's your favourite player so far?
I have to say my old favourite, Lionel Messi.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not bad.
I think when the team really needed him to come up with one moment, because they were really struggling. They lost against Saudi Arabia. And then second game against Mexico was like stifling them. And then, they were just running out of ideas. Then out of nowhere,
I agree.
He comes in, whacks a shot so accurate into the side in the corner of the net, and suddenly all shackles have been released from the team, and then they've suddenly played much, much better after he scored that opening goal. And it was like a relief. He said himself it was a relief. They said the tournament probably starts for Argentina.
Yeah.
he has been absolutely and absolutely brilliant for the team.
I'd love it. I sound like Kevin Keegan. I'd love it. I tell you, I'd love it. If Messi could win it, I'd love it. No, I would absolutely love if Messi could cap his career with the World Cup. I hope it happens. I really do. Especially when you see his buddy Ronaldo with that goal. Even the Bruno Fernandes one, right? And I thought he'd scored, and he's like, "It's me."
Then everybody says, "Not in."
Oh, brilliant! That's a good one. Can you guess mine? I bet you can. I've already written about it, so that's a clue.
Marcus Rashford.
Yes, man. I know anybody who knows me, who follows me, I'm not a flag-waving lunatic, but I just love Marcus Rashford. I'm completely biased about this. For me, Marcus Rashford goes beyond football. He took on the British government and won several times about finding free school meals or supplying free school meals for the poor kids during the pandemic. As a proud poor kid myself and a beneficiary of free school meals, I'm proud to say, when I was a kid, I'm very impressed with what Marcus Rashford did then.
Fantastic.
But after the Euros, he missed that penalty.
And then
he suffered tremendous racial abuse. And people forget he had a shoulder injury that he held off surgery for.
Ronaldo came in and then he was gone down the pecking order.
So Ronaldo and Ranić together, he had to pick Ronaldo. So Rashford is out. When he does come in, he's in the wrong position. This season, finally, Ten Hag has said no at Manchester United. I'm putting you before Ronaldo. I think he scored 10 goals already in all competitions for Manchester United. And to see him now at the World Cup, he's a different player.
Oh.
He's back to what you call, a school playground player.
That free kick against Wales.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
He's playing for fun. He's taking on players. He's dribbling. He's beating opponents. Left side, right side. He's scoring goals with both feet. He's on the right flank setting up for Foden. He's been absolutely sensational. 3 goals. Joint leader of the Golden Boot. I would love it if he wins the Golden Boot.
Oh, that'll be great.
Thoroughly well deserved. So meet Marcus Rashford. Who's your best player, favourite player so far? Let us know underneath. All right, favourite team.
Favorite team. You can't go wrong with Japan, can you?
It's good. It's good.
Asian pride. Obviously a bit biased. Obviously, I mean, totally unexpected. You're like, first time I see the team, I'm like, this not gonna go well. They're gonna probably lose all 3 matches.
They got half of the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but no. Wow. And then they beat Japan. They beat Germany, and they were like, whoa.
Because they were poor in the middle. They lost, didn't they, against Costa Rica, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah, Costa Rica. Yeah.
But they had chances, but they screwed up. They didn't manage to score. Then we thought the chances have gone. And then against Spain, none of us.
I thought they were going to get hammered against Spain after they won 7-0 against Costa Rica.
And Spain scored first, and that's about it for them. And then they came back in the second half, 3 minutes, scored twice. And then they're going in as group winners.
Yeah.
And all of us like, this is fantastic. What a team. It's the team that brought me the most joy during these 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've been good. Yeah. I would have picked Japan, except that I've already picked them higher up, and I knew that you would pick them. So my tip, or my choice so far for favourite team, you're going to be shocked by this. I'm shocked by this. It's England. Because I've really enjoyed. Completely objectively. I'm harder on England than anybody.
Yep.
But take away the US game and the Iran game and the Wales game, they've scored 9 goals.
Joyful to watch.
9 goals in 3 games. Yeah. Most of their goals have been exceptional goals. They've not been like tap-ins or scrappy or penalties like it was at the previous tournament. Brilliant. Volleys, free kicks, as you say, well worked, set pieces. Yeah. Brilliant.
And everybody's stepping up. It's not just Harry Kane, Everyone around
he goes.
Is scoring.
Foden. And it's a long list. Foden, Grealish, Sterling early on, Saka in the opening game. Kane has arguably been the only one who's slightly off, which doesn't really surprise me. Maguire looks like the old slaphead Maguire again. The no frills, no nonsense
Even
defender.
Jordan Henderson is like, being a solid rock in the middle. Yeah.
So objectively, we say this at every tournament, and I never get carried away with England, but based on the last 2 weeks, there is no reason in terms of squad depth, consistency, style of play that they can't go at least to the final. At least. I'm not predicting, but it can go a long way. Okay. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think this England side, I think they really silenced a lot of their critics.
They did.
And I do hope they do well, but I always see that there's always a trip somewhere in the middle.
I agree. But so far, my favourite team, England. Who's yours? Let us know. Usual places. All right.
Most disappointing team
Or player.
or player.
Okay, team or player. What have you got?
For team, Germany.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll say Belgium because you know what I think of Belgium.
yeah,
So
but
go on,
Germany,
do Germany.
wow, 4-time champions. You thought that would at least make it out of the group stage. Lost to Japan, drew with Spain, and then almost lost to Costa Rica. We were trailing before they came back, but by then it was already too late. So big disappointment. And for me, the most disappointing player, sadly, I would say Kevin De Bruyne.
Same.
Yeah,
We agree.
I mean, if he had been anywhere near his best, Belgium would have gone through.
I agree.
Yep.
100% I agree. Kevin De Bruyne represents the kind of jaded, elite, disillusioned player that I thought there was going to be many of because it's in the middle of the season and I thought there would be a lot of complaints.
The way he says, we are too old.
Yeah, he said we're too old, we're too tired, we're too fed up. He's had this really sort of dispiriting attitude that surprisingly no one else has had at the World Cup. I thought there would be a lot more complaints. It's November, we're tired, it's in the middle of the season, which, by the way, are all legitimate complaints. But I haven't heard that. Only him.
Yeah.
From the day he arrived, he just looked like he didn't want to be there.
He's just completely...
Clearly, there is something going on within the camp. Already stories are starting to come out. Cliques, disagreements over tactics. My friend Martinez wouldn't get a job in the Singapore Premier League if it was up to me, right? I think there's a lot of that. They're not happy with tactics. They're relying on too old. The average age of their squad, if it's not the oldest, it's certainly one of the oldest at the World Cup. Lots of players in their 30s.
All grumpy old men.
Grumpy old men, just like us. Yeah. But we're not playing for Belgium, De Bruyne. You are. And it didn't work out.
So
and you're by far our biggest disappointment. All right, we'll wrap that up. Let's move ahead, finish off. Looking ahead now. Knockout stages.
What do you hope to have? What do you hope to see?
I think we're going to agree on this. Japan.
Ah.
Don't let me down, boys. Japan, Croatia.
I think they have a chance.
I do, because Modric is now 174 years old and he's their best player, right? And he's still their best player, by the way. I think Croatia have been very slow, very mechanical, just sideways passing, look for Modric, sideways, look for Modric. Japan, I think, do it again, Japan. Go even less. 10% possession. I don't even want them to touch the ball except when they score.
Yeah, if they win, they'll be the first time they ever got through the last 16 into the quarterfinals. Please, I hope you...
Because when they hosted it, South Korea got through to the semi-finals. Yeah. So Japan, let's do it for Asia. Come on. I want 10% possession. I want you to touch the ball twice in the entire game. And that's when you score your 2 goals. And I want you to win 2-0. Come on, Japan. That's going to be my knockout stages prediction.
For me, it's the same. I hope more underdogs in the last 16 win.
Yeah.
It could be Tunisia. It could be Morocco. Don't Morocco. It could be, I don't know, just one of the none of the fancy teams. Do another upset. Japan, Morocco, and another thing I hope is don't have that cynical kind of football creeping back into...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because knockout stages, I know everybody's scared of losing, and then they'll probably play more defensive. They'll maybe scale back on their attacks, but still go out and attack. Just go out and get the win. Don't play for penalties, and then do all the niggling, dirty play and niggling fouls.
I got one more thing. This is my most important one. Japan, please keep cleaning up the dressing rooms.
Yes.
Because it's driving the Angmos mad. And I love it. If Roy Keane talks about it one more time, his head is going to explode. He's sitting there going, why are they doing that? That's not the footballer's job. Yeah, Roy, when you was at the World Cup with Ireland, you spent most of your time getting drunk and you never got anywhere. So they're winning games and treating their stadiums respectfully. It's the Asian way. Stop being a dinosaur. Move on with the times.
Yeah.
So Japan, please keep doing it because it's driving the dinosaur, archaic, Jurassic Western nations crazy. And I absolutely love it. God bless you, Japan. I hope you win it and I hope you clean up, literally and metaphorically. There you go. That's what I want.
What will you want to look out for, man?
Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know at
Yahoo Southeast Asia in YouTube, Yahoo SG or Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Brilliant. I'm fired up now because of Japan.
Yeah, Japan,
I'm all
man.
fired up
Come
for
on, man,
Japan.
Japan.
All right, we'll see you again. When are we coming back? For the semi-finals?
Semi-finals, we'll come back again, or maybe after semi-finals, just before the finals.
We'll be back just then. And like Japan, we will clean up. See
Clean
you
it up
soon.
now. See you.